The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Sicilian Corner, winner of the Italian Heritage Media Award, with your hosts, Tom Zappola and Mike Lamazzo.
Mikey boy, how are you this fine morning?
You know something, Tom? I think things are pretty good. The weather has been absolutely perfect here in New England. We're getting some well-needed rain. Canobie Lake, my aching head. I haven't seen it this low. I've lived in that area now for almost 40 years. This is probably one of the driest that I've seen it late September.
Any dead bodies?
No, but you know what's coming up?
What's that?
In 1938, some of our listeners are old enough to remember.
The flood.
We had the bad flood. And the U.S. Army came in, the Army Corps of Engineers came in, and they helped clean out a lot of the trees that had fallen. They didn't know what to do with the lumber, the timber.
Threw it in.
So when you put it in cold water, what happens is the lumber will actually be preserved. Okay, I'd like to throw you in and tie it to the bottom.
Is it starting?
So now what's happened, and they tagged every one of these. They're probably about maybe 25 foot long, and they tagged every one with a metal plate. Now you're starting to see a few of them are breaking loose. Yeah, they're in the low water. But you can do all – that wood is absolutely precious.
Oh, sure.
Some of the signs in the town of Windham, Al Letizio went out. He grabbed two of them, had them brought ashore, and he had them cut and made into signs. And he just loves that kind of stuff. He's very – I'll tell you, talk about being involved in the community.
Good man.
Al, I know you're listening, buddy. Keep it up.
The name of the show is The Sicilian Corner. Tom Zappola, Mike Lamazzo. You know, we say this every week. We hope you're going to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, and click the like button. That's very, very – you don't have to
Nobody
like Mike,
likes you.
But click the like button. And you can also listen to us on your favorite platform, Alexa, Pandora.
Who's the lady that put the fingers on
iHeartRadio, Pandora,
over your
Spotify? Why are you interrupting me?
How do you like it?
How do you like it? I'm trying to.
Have you ever been lost for words?
No,
Tell me.
Never.
Have you ever stopped talking?
Never. Here, you read it.
I don't want to read it.
You gotta read it.
Anyway, thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in and joining us on a kind of a dismal Tuesday, right? We're recording on Tuesday. The show airs on Friday.
You brought your A game today, I can see.
I'm going to see Il Volo tonight.
Really?
I'm all excited.
I
think I'm there.
Mike's bringing his A game today, I can see that. What day is it?
Today is Tuesday.
That's good. So
yeah. And they're at the Wang Theater tonight, so.
Hey, Saturday night, we have a great guest coming in after the first segment, Mike Kuenzler from Grazie. And we're having dinner there on Saturday night. With Mary Ann Esposito.
That's the only reason I'm going.
And her husband, Guy. Great people. But you know something, Mike? You want to eat outside. And it's going to be chilly.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Grow up here, will you?
It's always about you. My wife weighs 110 pounds soaking wet. She will freeze her butt off.
Okay.
All right. So look, can we eat inside? Do you mind?
We'll compromise. We'll eat in the hallway.
Okay. Now, actually, looking forward to it. Looking forward to a great meal.
The best part about one of the best things about going to the country club, Four Oaks, is if you can sit outside and it's a decent evening and it's not, and the weather is changing.
And I agree.
And you're up so high,
you can see the Prudential.
You can see the skyline of Boston.
Yeah. And we've talked about a lot of Italian restaurants over the course of our career, especially on the North Shore. And I mean this. If I'm wrong, I want you to correct me. There are only, and I'm going to name, there are two restaurants, in my opinion, that meet the expectations of us and the people that eat there. What are those two restaurants?
Non-sponsor or sponsors?
Doesn't matter.
Molise is one.
Molise and Grazie, right? Those two restaurants, hands down, are the two best Italian restaurants on the North Shore.
And Joe Farrow is right up there. I mean, really.
Joe Farrow's. Listen,
he goes everything.
You weren't here. We talked about it on the air. Some of Joe's restaurants are a little inconsistent. All right. Now, I mean, I know he's a sponsor of the show.
No, forget being a sponsor.
Okay, so
one thing we've learned about this show, we don't have a problem getting sponsors. That's number one, which is unusual.
Because of me.
Really?
All right. So that's an exaggeration.
No, but what I'm saying is every one of our sponsors, we visit, we participate.
And we speak frankly to them.
Good or bad. Now, I mean, you've heard me say a few things about Joe's. You've heard me
That's
say.
my point.
Yeah, that's it.
That's my
Melise
point.
sometimes. Everybody can have a bad night.
Now.
But consistency?
Absolutely. Now, we're having dinner. Mike was gracious enough to invite us to dinner on Saturday night.
Oh, you're going?
I'm going. He's got a new chef.
I don't even know his name.
New executive chef. We'll
him.
find out when Mike comes on. He's got a new executive chef. And he was nice enough to ask both of us, along with Mary Ann, he said, look, I have thick skin. I want you guys to be honest on the quality of the food that you're going to be served.
Right.
And we will be. We will do that with Mike. Say, Mike, it's great. It's okay. You may want to tweak this. And
everybody's tastes the different.
Absolutely.
I'm one, and you've heard me say this on the air. Many of our listeners have heard me say this. I'm one that eats with my eyes.
Yeah.
Presentation.
Excuse me. You eat with more than your eyes, brother.
You look like you swallowed a watermelon.
No, you too.
Did you see that picture when Mary Ann, and you did the interview with Mary Ann, you're standing there? Did you see the picture?
I did. What was that all about?
El Porco.
What was
El Porco?
That was your fault.
That was the worst picture.
What was that all about? Did you see? I looked like I was pregnant.
What did I say to
you? Think he photoshopped you wrong?
Hey, what did you do to me?
No, you did it to yourself.
Did you see that?
I couldn't believe it. I says, this guy goes after me. I love to eat.
You should see me naked. I look fantastic. I'm just telling you.
But by who's?
You know why he thinks that? Because when he's naked, he takes his glasses off as well.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna have a great meal.
I want to make a comment though.
Yeah.
Mike's chef at Grazie's. Benne.
The new guy, I don't know his name.
No, I'm talking about Benne. Benny's been there for 11 years. He's got a big following.
Yeah,
I mean, this guy's walking into some big footsteps, and I'm sure he's going to be quite capable because I saw some of his credentials. But I just want to say publicly, Benny's opening up his own restaurant. He's going to be
Wakefield?
Woolman, I believe. And I wish him nothing but the best because he's a
great guy.
He's a nice man.
Great guy.
And his son, the whole family.
But, Mike did tell me one thing about the new chef, and this is a good sign. He was telling me that when they were interviewing, he said to the chef, cook me something.
That wasn't him that said that. His wife asked that.
Okay, all right. So
get it straight. All right.
Cook me anything, right? The dish that this guy cooked or made
was over the top.
And Mike is not a big fan of whatever he had. I think it was some kind of a clam dinner, and he'll tell us about it. Yeah. He said he was shocked. He ate the whole thing, and he's not even a big lover of what the guy made. So
now that's a testimonial.
That is a testimonial. Yeah. All right, listen. So Mike's going to be coming in later on.
Do you know Mike's last name, by the way?
Kuenzler.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you say it.
I said Kuenzler.
Really?
Yeah, Mike Kuenzler.
Did you?
Who was the other Kuenzler? There was another Kuenzler that was famous. I don't think you spell it the same way. See, you have no history.
He's probably a baseball player from 1906 who worked in a mine who used to drink himself to death and hit the baseball.
No.
Did
you ever hear the Chicago 7?
I have heard of the Chicago 7.
Who are the Chicago 7?
They're monsters.
Wrong.
Gave it a shot. They weren't involved with the Valentine's Day match.
The Chicago 7, Abby Hoffman.
Another nut.
Wait a second. David Rubin. David Rubin.
And you asked me what's wrong with this country.
Kuenzler, I think his name was it Adam Kuenzler?
I don't know.
Was their attorney.
And I don't care.
He was their attorney for one of the most famous trials in the history of this country, the trial of the Chicago 7, back in 1968. You don't remember that? Not at all, do you? Not a clue. God bless him.
I plead the fifth.
Hey, listen, we've got a few minutes.
Yeah.
I am really excited. I want to switch gears for a minute. I want to talk a little baseball.
Go ahead.
I'm really.
This is good for baseball, by the way, too.
Aaron Judge, man, is legit. And you know I'm a baseball guy. And I was talking to Rico.
He's a big dude, huh?
You know something? I am so happy for this kid. Unless there's something we don't know. I don't think he's juicing. I think the kid is 100% legit.
Do they still do random drug tests?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine?
All the time. Yeah. A kid named Fernando Tatis, superstar. He got suspended for 80 games.
Yeah, I read that.
His card. He's one of these guys. You know these investors in these young millennials that are investing, like, you know, rolling the dice and investing in modern and ultra-modern cards, right? This guy Tatis, last year, $12 million spent on his baseball cards. $12 million. Guys, you know, hedging, right?
You think he'll sign them?
You know what they're worth now?
Zero.
I mean, people.
Because he got suspended for so many
There
games.
were some guys that spent $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on his rookie card. What do you think that card's worth now? Now that the guy's on juice.
Now, you came after me because of Law Enforcement Associates when I gave you that stock to buy.
Worst?
No. Why don't you tell the people the truth?
You gave me a bad stock.
Your ass, I gave you a bad stock. You bought it at $2 and change. It went up to 13.5. I called you from the Virgin Islands. I said, I just want you to know I'm selling. I sold 3/4 of what I owned. I kept a quarter just for. What did you do? Oh, if it went from 2.5 to 13, it's going to you and Tony Palmisano. It's going to 26.
You know what I sold?
What did you get for it?
Less than a
15
buck.
cents.
Less than a buck.
Don't tell me. You know something? It's all about timing.
I'm not a stock guy. You know that.
But I'm there watching your back. You could have made a freaking fortune.
You want to talk? You want to talk memorabilia and collectibles?
No, you always talk about that. You're one-sided. You're a one-hot.
You know what my GM ROI is?
I'm sorry. What is it?
My gross margin on investment.
Well, listen to my boy go.
Or ROI, return on investment. It's about 80%.
That's fantastic.
Unbelievable.
I salute you. Everybody has their strengths.
I know. I'm lucky at it, and I'm pretty good at it, to be honest with you.
But you put the time.
Like you put the time in your stocks. I do the same thing. I purchased, I told you this, I bought about a month ago, David, I had access to a 1953 Topps Mickey Mantle.
Yeah, you told me.
Signed by Mickey Mantle. Signed. God be my judge. I paid $8,000 for it. 2 days later, I got offered $30,000 for it. It's in my safe. I said, not interested. But
that's a dream.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool
now,
stuff.
Attorney Steve Lane from New Orleans. He's got a big collection.
He's writing a book.
I know.
He's got the most extensive personal Mickey Mantle collection in the country.
Yankee Stadium borrowed something from him.
Yeah, they have a museum.
He's in the museum?
Yeah.
Wow.
Aaron Judge last week they have pictures of Aaron Judge like holding, having Mickey Mantle's glove on. It all belongs to Steve.
What a hand on that kid, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I got
Anyways, I hope this kid, he's got 59 home runs. He's 2 runs away from tying Roger Maris, 3 from
What
breaking
is there,
it.
about 13, 14 games left?
Yeah, I think he'll do it, and I hope he does.
I think he will, too.
He's a good kid. And
They play the Red Sox. They got what? 2 more games?
No, do they?
I'm
not sure.
I think they go to New York to play 2 games.
There is a possibility, although
I say walk him every time he comes up at bat. Leave the record stand.
No, you can't do that. There is a possibility, an outside
walk him every
possibility
time.
that he could. It's not out of the realm
crown?
that he could be in a Red Sox uniform next year.
Yeah, I've been reading about that. I don't know.
I think that would be kind of cool, David, huh?
Do you remember when he came up?
I do.
First time at bat, what did he do?
Struck out.
No, home run.
I didn't know that.
Well, I just asked you. What? You just go like it's
flow.
just flow.
All right, listen, we're going to take a break. We come back. Mike Kuenzler, I hope he shows up. Is he coming?
Yeah. He's lost some weight, so he could be sitting in the gallery. We can't see him.
All right. Mike Kuenzler is going to be joining us from Grazie Italian Restaurant and Fair Oaks Country Club. Do you play golf?
What country club?
Fair Oaks? Fair Oaks was a place. I'm sorry. Fair Oaks, I used to hang around in Methuen, Fair Oaks Avenue.
How about Four Oaks Country?
Fair Oaks is where I used to hang
How
out.
about Four Oaks?
Boy,
I'm worried.
No.
You're getting brain fog.
Can I tell you something before we take a quick break?
Go ahead.
At Fair Oaks Avenue, I was 14 years old, sitting next to a tree. I got my first hickey.
That's it?
That's it.
At 14?
Yeah. It was my first
You were a
hickey.
slow learner?
I was.
All right, let's take a break.
We're going to take a quick break. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
Looking for that something special? All of us here at the Sicilian Corner suggest trying Ristorante Uno, located at 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. For the most exquisite dining experience in an intimate setting that serves authentic regional Italian cuisine and features old country service. Try Ristorante Uno. Did we mention their award-winning wine cellar? Ristorante Uno, 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. Call 617-573-9406 for reservations. That's 617-573-9406. Tell them the boys from the Sicilian Corner sent you.
Today, Lawrence General Hospital has affiliations with leading Boston academic medical centers. Top specialists from Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center and Floating Hospital for Children at Tufts Medical Center work with our local doctors to bring world-class care close to home. Today, amazing partnerships are happening at Lawrence General Hospital. To learn more, visit lawrencegeneral.org/today.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine is pleased to announce the opening of their American College of Radiology accredited MRI unit at their location at 16 Pelham Road in Salem, New Hampshire. So now, in addition to receiving the best orthopedic care in the Merrimack Valley, as well as physical and occupational therapy at Optima Sports Therapy and Rehab, you can also have your MRI, all in one convenient location. The doctors and staff of Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine have been dedicated to providing outstanding medical care to the Merrimack Valley in southern New Hampshire since 1984. Located on Route 97, just off Exit 2 from Route 93 North, on the second floor of the Workout Club of Salem. You deserve the best care, and that's exactly what you'll get from the board-certified surgeons at Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine. Please call 603-898-2244 to schedule an appointment.
A loyal sponsor for the Sicilian Corner is Hilton Oil Company. Hilton Oil has been located right across from the South Lawrence Common since 1932 at 101 South Union Street. Hilton Oil Company specializes in 24-hour burner service, oil deliveries, including automatic deliveries serving all the Merrimack Valley area, plus portions of southern New Hampshire. If you want your car fixed right the first time, bring it to Hilton's state-of-the-art service station. Remember, Hilton's is also a Mass State inspection station. Hilton Oil Company, 101 South Union Street in Lawrence. Call 978-687-9793.
This is Cindy,
and Mike Kuenzler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts,
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benne.
Benne was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benne is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
Okay, we are back, and we are pleased to have Mike Kuenzler, the owner of Grazie and Four Oaks Country Club.
Proud of you, Grasshopper.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
Hi, Michael.
How you doing, guys?
Good.
Great to be back.
I just want to start this off. You got a letter from
Lydia Shire.
I was building up to that. From Lydia Shire, who is, world famous. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is on your new chef, Oscar Figueroa. That's a great name.
Yes, it is.
Dear Michael, I've had the pleasure of knowing and working alongside Oscar for the last 27 years. He believed in his passion to cook. Quite frankly, I've never worked with as a hardworking and accurate accurate chef of my life. Oscar can do the work of many while teaching at the same time. We also had some fun along the way cooking with Wolfgang Puck many times in LA for the Food and Wine Fest. Never mind the James Beard Awards in New York. She started with Oscar in 1994, then worked with him in the Back Bay at Biba in 1996. Most significantly, Oscar was the chef at Lockober's in 2001. There's no one that would remember Lockober without a nod to Oscar Figueroa. Lastly, Oscar ran Town Stove and Spirits as executive chef for 9 years for myself and her partner, Patrick Lyons. Food Stella. His accomplishments at the Federal in Waltham are known to everyone. It goes on and on and on. He's a rare individual that thrives on hard work. He runs. My mission is that Oscar lands in the correct place. And this is like really cool because she's basically giving him her blessing. He is now in the correct place. So,
he wasn't at Liberty? The Liberty Hotel?
Well, she's the chief.
He was there as well at Scampo.
At Scampo, in the Liberty,
well,
right. So you've got a 5-star guy.
Yeah, we got lucky, especially in this day and age. Everybody
Move
knows
your
how
mic a
hard
little
it
closer.
is. Everybody knows how hard it is to hire people.
Yeah.
And so, Benne was with us for almost 11 years. Went on his own, the American dream. We brought him here from Italy, and we're wishing nothing but the best for him. Right up until his last day, he was just very loyal.
Now, how long has he been gone?
It's been about 3 or 4 weeks now.
So, Oscar, has he hit the ground running?
He's there. He is there already. We're excited. I know you alluded to a little story, and Mike, you were right. It was my wife's idea.
Oh, that was the one that Chrissy yelled at me for because you were walking in. I know that story.
Yes, yeah. So, basically, during the interview process, he was coming in, and the day before, my wife said to him, listen, what I'd like you to do, he was going to come spend the day with Benne cooking and everything and getting, acquainted with the restaurant. And so my wife said, I want you to make us something that is not on the menu so we can kind of judge, how creative you are and stuff. So he comes in that day, and he's preparing something downstairs. We do not know what it is, but he was down there for a few hours, and Sally, our manager, restaurant manager, Sally.
She's
awesome.
crazy.
She's amazing.
Nuts. She's
amazing. So she's coming over with kind of a smirk on her face and kind of laughing. And so she's bringing the plates over, and it's myself and my wife and Ralph Pelosi and his wife, Anna. And so as she's bringing them, she puts the plate, she goes, boy, everyone's going to love this except for Mike. Because she knows I really don't eat a lot of seafood, and I'm kind of a picky eater, and one thing I don't eat is I don't eat clams. So it's a clam dish. And I think the good part about it, he brought in these really small baby clams. And so he mixed them up with a garlic butter sauce, small pieces of sausage, in a nice au jus with dipping bread. And
What's
everyone's
not to like?
Was it on a pasta? Was there a pasta?
No, on this one was
a broth. Wow,
this was
that's
just
cool.
in the broth with the dipping bread.
Very cool.
So I said, boy, I have to try it. I mean, I don't want to hurt his feelings, and we want to get off on the right foot. And so I tried it, and boy, there wasn't a clam left in it. And it was amazing.
And you're not a clam eater?
I'm not a clam eater, but again, it was the baby clams. I don't think I would have eaten the bigger ones. Just that's me.
Yeah.
That's me. Since then, he's already run a special with the bigger ones over linguine. It was a huge hit. I chose not to do that one because I said you got to bring back the baby clams.
All right, so I have a question there. Is your
have I ever? What would I say to stop you?
Very good point. Is your menu going to change
at
all? I mean, versus like when Benne was there?
Yeah, great question, and everyone's kind of asking that question. So what we've decided to do is stay with the same menu for now and introduce new daily specials. And when the regular customers fall in love with those specials, we'll start looking at the menu and analyzing it, and maybe taking off some of the things that don't sell as much and putting on the new things. And it's like anything else, Oscar's going to grow into be the new Benne. Because Benne was a rock star.
He was.
Benne was a rock star.
I mean, Benne, he was personable. He had the personality.
Plus personality.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a smile.
Oh,
I mean, even if you didn't know the guy, you liked him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he always smiled. And
Always.
And he loved what he did.
Always.
You talked about clams. People are nervous about eating clams because of the red tide, and some areas are closed, some places are open. As a restaurant owner, how do you guarantee that the clams that are being served come from reputable?
Yeah. I think it's like anything else. When you get to the level that Benne has brought us, we really buy from the best vendors. You have to. If you think you're going to save money or make more money by buying, non-superior product, it's just not going to work. The next thing is these guys that are really experienced, guys like Benne, guys like Oscar with 27 years of experience, they know when they know if there's a problem. The amazing thing I already liked about Oscar when he was coming in is when he was preparing the clams, and he did a beautiful mussel special the other day, he's there with the scrubbing brush, and he scrubs them.
Wow.
That's good. And he said, and one of the biggest things he said is, he says, maybe you don't like clams because maybe you've eaten it before and you're biting into sand. And I think everyone has experienced that before. He says, that's number one. We're going to do everything we can to never let that happen. So every individual clam and mussel, he was scrubbing them off.
That's cool.
And he does things the way they're supposed to be done.
Mike, talking about Benne and Oscar, when a product comes in, produce, does the executive chef, is he the guy that inspects what's coming in as far as the quality, like using lettuce or whatever?
Good question.
Yeah, great question. They are the ones that will do it. Keep in mind, you can imagine, daily we're getting orders, orders. So basically what he'll do is he'll inspect every so many of them. He'll go down there. But it's all about who you train, and Benne has done a great job, and I can already see with Oscar, I see him spending so much time with the different individuals to bring them up to that next level, because the higher of a level he brings them to, the easier his job becomes. And so they are now trained to check everything that comes in, and if they see any kind of questionable thing, they call him in, but he'll just do some random checks as well.
Benne had a lot of help in the kitchen. He had guys that he relied on. Did everybody stay on board with Oscar?
Everybody. Every single one.
See, that's good.
That's key.
And to Benny's credit, when he told us he was going to be moving on, he says, I will not take one person out of this kitchen.
That is cool.
That's pretty amazing. And, he's already working to get in his new place open. I think it's still a couple of weeks away. He's called me every day, every other day with some questions. I helped him get something done yesterday, and he's a phone call. He tells even Oscar, he says, I am a phone call away. He met Oscar. He's very encouraged with Oscar. And you know what I like? It meant something for Benne to feel good. It meant something to Benne to walk away knowing that somebody's going to go in there. Look what we've built, what Benny's built.
Right.
And it's so hard to get to that level in a restaurant. We don't want to lose that.
Take us through the process, Mike. How did you, when Benne gave you the word that he was leaving, how did you guys zero in on Oscar? I mean, it must have been pretty extensive to search.
Absolutely. We put the ads out right away. We interviewed a few different people. And a friend of mine, Ralph Pelosi, had reached out to a good friend of his, Richard Brackett. You ever hear of Richard Brackett? So he owns the Federal in Waltham.
Okay.
He owns another Italian restaurant in Waltham. He used to run Bancroft, Bancroft in Burlington.
Sure. Yeah.
And so he was on last year. I was watching Chronicle.
Wait a minute. The name of the restaurant was called Bankrupt?
No,
Bancroft.
Oh, Bancroft.
Bancroft in Burlington. He used to run Bancroft.
I heard
Burlington.
Bankrupt.
No,
I says,
no.
How could you
that
possibly
would not be a good start. No, that would not be good.
Oh, wow.
But I was watching Chronicle last year, and he was one of the guests on there. And to me, you're a baseball guy. I'm more of a football guy. And what they called Richard Brackett on that show was the Bill Belichick of restaurants.
Oh, wow.
No kidding.
So my friend Ralph had reached out to him and asked him if he had somebody in mind, and he basically said, I have the perfect guy in mind for you if he's up for this job, if he's, if you can get him to come up to Dracut. He was running at the time for another owner, 3 restaurants in Somerville and Cambridge, but they weren't fine dining. And this guy's passion was fine dining. So it's so funny with Oscar, he'll call Richard his daddy, and he calls Lydia his mama. And the incredible thing is, they're the ones that really convinced him to take this job, which is pretty amazing.
Wow.
They said, this is going to be a good home for you. And I said to Oscar, I just want to be your stepdaddy. That's all. Just let me be something here. And we made a deal. We actually went in the back room after he cooked that meal for us.
That was it.
Yeah, because after that, he actually came out with a homemade pasta he had made with eggplant that he had taken and put in the pizza oven to get it crispy with some ricotta cheese and stuffed them. So that was the second course he fed us that night. So after that meal, we kind of went in the back and we kind of got together and made it happen. We got a verbal commitment, which I got to tell you, these days, you don't know what a verbal commitment is these days. I mean, the hiring process is completely... We have hired people, and the first day they don't show up.
Did he and Benny work together at all? Was there a time like with overlap, with no overlap? Benny was kind of showing him the ropes, or was it a clean cut?
It was a couple of days. So one of the things in the restaurant business, which I never heard of before, I don't know if you guys have heard about it, it's called a stage.
So they come in, they work off the clock.
Off the clock. And they come in and say, am I comfortable working in this kitchen?
Oh, I don't understand that.
In other words,
I'd never heard of it before.
He's not on the payroll yet. Mike is not paying
Okay.
But Oscar came in and spent 8 to 10 hours with Benny to learn and to see what the process
is it a fit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this a fit?
That's interesting.
And
it's
called
for
a
the bubble.
stage. I've never heard of it before.
I know when I say for the bubble, you can't understand that concept at all.
Correct.
Because that's foreign to you.
Very.
There's got to be a little bit of Zordi in it for you. I get it, but that's what that word means.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he liked it. He loved our setup. Coming from Boston, he worked in a bunch of very, very tight kitchens. Since all the renovations we've done over the past few years, we have a really good setup, and he loved it. He loves, we brought that pizza oven in. We brought it in from Italy, and he loves it. So he wants to cook more and more things out of the pizza oven because, that gets up to 900 degrees, and inside that oven, there's so much moisture.
Sure.
So he's talking about doing some special pork chops. Now, I love a good pork chop, but only if it's juicy.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's so easy to ruin a pork chop. He's very excited.
That pizza oven, how the hell did you get it in there?
That was in before construction.
Oh, before construction.
Before construction.
Because that's a big...
You couldn't get it out without taking a wall out. More importantly, we had to hire Tupin Rigging, those guys, great guys out of Dracut. Tupin Rigging had to rig it in with machines to bring it in.
Thing is big.
Before construction. So the walls were built after the fact.
Do you get, using that pizza oven, we have about a minute and a half before the break, do you get a lot of pizza orders for dinner because of the pizza?
Oh, absolutely.
You do.
And a lot of people, because they want to try the different pizzas, and remember, we do a Neapolitan pizza, which I love. It's just
very
crisp,
thin.
very crisp, thin,
well done,
very
thin.
crispy,
That's
a little
like
extra done, a little charred.
Yeah, that's the way.
And so a lot of people, when they come in, that will be their appetizer. If there's 4 people in there, they'll pick out a pizza. And I see the same people come in, and they pick a different pizza when they come in. So that's kind of how they get started.
It's got its 8 slices.
That's a very good idea.
And they're not big, you know what I mean? So just a nice appetizer, way to learn the menu.
We have chatting with Mike Kuenzler from Grazie Restaurant and Four Oaks, not Fair Oaks, Four Oaks Country Club.
Very good.
We're going to take
impressed.
a quick break. We have one more segment. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and we can never agree. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with great Italian cuisine, Capri Seaside Italian Grill. Me, I love the elegant romantic vibe, Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu with prices that'll make it the place you want to visit every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of an even cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Music Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all these great places, and they treat everyone like they're Mike Lamazzo. And best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all of this fun is right at your fingertips. We can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out about all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Debracare Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Debracare. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Debracare Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kuenzler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts.
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benne.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benne is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
Just wanted to aggressively stop the ad there.
Okay, we are back. You could have hummed it.
Something.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been good.
Sound
See,
like
Mike,
entertainment.
this is what happens when you write script at 6 o'clock in the morning versus the email that she sent me 2 weeks ago. Subscribe script. Please subscribe, like, and share the show with your friends.
Comma.
You can watch us on Facebook and YouTube, or you can listen to us anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. If you have a comment or question or even a topic you'd like us to talk about on the show, you can leave a message in the chat below or email me at zapsenior@hotmail.com. That's zapsr@hotmail.com. Notice that Mike's email is not in here because Mike does not know how to use a computer. Thank you very much.
I get emails from him all the time.
I send them.
Yeah, you send them.
Doesn't sound much
send
more
them, yeah.
professional.
It was very good. My apologies. You know, I was in a rush this morning.
It's fine.
I had breakfast, had my coffee, my cereal, my Metamucil, and the rest
That's
is history.
in a rush for him?
Mike,
Coffee, breakfast,
the
Metamucil.
country club, I would imagine, during September, October, weddings. You guys
busy.
Uh-huh.
Busy. We got a ton of weddings every weekend. This past weekend on Saturday was a busy night. It's very rare that I actually go in the kitchen, but I was in helping for the weddings with. We've got an executive chef. I do want to mention too. He handles all the events up there.
Separate.
Yeah. James Holloway, amazing. Yeah. And the biggest compliment we get, not even as much as weddings, just the regular events that we do. When people walk out of there and say, "I don't feel like I'm just eating at a banquet hall. I feel like I just ate at a restaurant."
That's huge.
Honest to God, he
that is
is
huge. That's
amazing, and we're blessed to have him. So we've been pretty fortunate.
Do you guys have, in the summertime, any entertainment at all outside or inside? No?
We don't. We used to have the pub, and during the virus and everything that happened, we changed the pub over.
Yeah.
It was already under construction, but we ended up putting in a second ballroom for weddings, which, to be honest, is probably the best move, and it wasn't my idea.
Sure. Absolutely.
Whose idea do you think it was? And I'm not just saying this.
Your wife. Your beautiful wife.
Yes, Cindy's idea, and she was just dead on. And, the other advantage that we have, and I know you guys know that, you see Cindy more when you're at the restaurant than me. My wife lives up there, and God bless her.
I was going to ask you that, Mike. I mean, you guys are hands-on. I mean, you not as much because you have other ventures that you're involved with, but she's there a lot.
All the time.
Yeah.
She does HR. She helps run the restaurant. She's very involved in the events. I am very blessed. And
amen, brother.
Mike's very blessed to have me.
So you know the feeling, Mike, right?
I want to make a comment. I love the shirt.
Thank you.
That's very, very nice. How come the Sicilian Corner doesn't have quality shirts like this?
That's a good question.
Instead of that rayon stuff.
Excuse me. Who handles the finances for this organization?
I pay the bills. You're in charge of merchandising.
No, that is a lie. We did have T-shirts once. They really sucked.
You washed them once, gone. All the writing they were blank. The writing went
on the other side of the coin.
What do you got there, Tom?
We have the quality Great American Collectibles polo shirt that was purchased from the Petrocelli Marketing Company.
Yep.
And we didn't get this on the bubble. As a matter of fact, we got ripped off. Enrico, if you can hear me, a little too expensive, but we bought it anyway.
Nice. I love it. Got ripped off. His son Mike must be going crazy.
Mike's a great kid. All right, so let's talk about for you folks that have not been to Grazie, just to kind of whet your appetite, since you said the menu is really not going to change much. Okay, lamb shanks. Slow braised short ribs.
That's my go-to, to be honest with you.
Chicken limoni, phenomenal. Obviously, filet mignon, catch of the day. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
A catch of the day is a catch-all for whatever.
Absolutely.
So, how does that work? Does when you offer a particular type of haddock or cod? How does that work? Is that the chef's call?
Always the chef's call. One of the things Benne did, and I know Oscar will be doing it, is, you try to bring something in that you're not going to get everywhere.
Yeah.
Branzino. I mean, these guys make a Branzino. Benne made an incredible one.
Wow.
Oscar makes an incredible Branzino. And Oscar now wants to do that Branzino and finish it off in the pizza oven. So I think
everybody different ideas.
That might be as early as this weekend. So you guys might be in for a treat.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to make a prediction. What Mary Ann's going to order, because when she co-hosted, when she was on the show a couple of weeks ago, the most peasant dish that you can order, cacio e pepe, just pasta with pepper. She said
simple.
That's a very telltale sign of the quality of a particular dish, because it's basic, yet there's a lot you can learn from that dish.
That's so interesting, because when we first had Oscar come up, the first night we met him, not the night he cooked for us, but the first night, he called Richard Brackett, and he's very close to him. Richard jumped in his car and went up to the restaurant as well. And we talked for a while. I showed him the kitchen and everything. I said, you guys eat dinner. We're going to leave, my wife and I. No pressure, eat it. So they ordered about 5 different things to try them all. And that's one of the things that they ordered. And like you just said, it's such a easy, in a sense, it's an easy thing.
Exactly.
But as easy as it is, if you really know what you're doing, it comes out a certain way.
Exactly.
And they were so impressed with that.
She said that.
You know, it's the little things. It's the way a nice pasta dish, the guys that are really into it, the way that they actually take the pasta and twist it before they plate it. You know you're at.
Make a cone out of it.
Exactly.
Really?
I mean, just little things like that. It tells you
it's a beautiful dish.
If you're
I've had it. I love it.
You know?
Simple,
very simple,
but beautiful.
Yeah,
Right?
it's part of the presentation.
Yeah,
You know
I mean,
what
I've tried.
I told you, I eat my eyes.
I've tried making that many times at home. Mine is never the same. I've made it 10 different ways. It comes out 10 different ways. So you know.
Well, that's the best thing about cooking. You make chicken soup. You can make it a different time every time.
He said he eats his eyes. And I just laughed at him. And he looks at me like, what? I was like, you eat with your eyes. He's like, I eat my eyes.
Cyclops.
I just like his sayings.
I got 2 of them instead of 1.
Yeah, that's great.
Twice the pleasure. It's like New York, New York.
But anyway, and then for pasta dishes, I mean, you have a little of everything. Ravioli, pasta alla norsina, fresh fusilli served in a truffle cream sauce with sweet Italian sausage. That's
the real deal.
I mean, that sounds, you've got some great stuff here. Obviously, shrimp scampi. What is the ribs are your favorite?
Yeah, the short rib.
The short
rib just is, I love the way it comes over risotto. I actually have them. Mine, I always have them put in peppadews, which are those red peppers that are both sweet and a little hot.
A little bit of salt.
It's unbelievable.
A little bit of hot.
So I like to have that, and I kind of take a little bit of everything, and really.
So the short ribs are over a better risotto.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So, some restaurants serve it over better mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And I like that too.
Yep.
But the risotto, the problem I have with risotto, I don't know if you do, but you can only eat so much of it because it's so
very
filling.
it's very
really
intense.
is.
It's filling.
Yeah.
We don't
But
eat
you know
much.
what?
We don't eat much risotto.
Our menu.
Never have in my family either.
Yeah, we don't eat
80% of the people are walking out of there with the bag for lunch the next day anyway.
Oh, I'm sure.
We've got generous portions. So
I'm not sure risotto. I could be wrong. I'm not sure that's a real Sicilian dish. I think that's a mainland dish in Italy, isn't it? Or is it?
I don't know.
I don't either. We're going to have to explore that.
Al will have to give us. Your brother will have to give us an update.
Growing up, we never had risotto. We
Agreed.
never had it either.
And it's a slow process to make.
Yeah,
if you're going to do it right.
Exactly.
If you're going to do it right.
Exactly.
Mike, I don't know if you want to touch upon this, but I know you are involved in some other business ventures. Do you want to give a plug to some of the other things that you do?
So I have had a promotional company myself, and I love Rico too, and Rico's been good to us. Remember last year he helped us with the auction for the Salvation Army.
Right.
Plus, growing up, I was a huge fan of Rico's.
Can you give us a good deal on pens versus him? Because his pens,
I don't want to compete.
His pens
with
don't even have ink in them.
I don't want to compete. Well, you probably get a great price.
Yeah, he charges us extra for the ink.
Okay, all right. So I have a promotional company. It's called All Sports and Heroes. So we do the same thing Rico does. All the shirts,
jackets, shirts.
If you can put your logo on it, we can do it. We do a lot of uniforms for companies as well. We do a lot of police and fire.
Maybe
and stuff
that's
like
what
that.
we need, a Sicilian Corner uniform. Like a whole uniform.
Not just
shirts.
Look how nice he looks.
A uniform.
Look,
with hats.
Feel this.
Right. I know, it's beautiful.
This material breathes.
Listen,
that material you had was like cardboard. That was awful.
I am giving you, as your partner, I am giving you carte blanche to order shirts. It's your gig. Handle it. All right?
I can do anything I want.
Anything you want, as long as you include one for each of our producers.
Well, of course. No.
No, because I know you. You're cheap.
Really? Hey, listen, I just want to touch bases.
Hold on. What other businesses? Anything else?
No, that's it. That's it. The uniform business, the promotional business, and obviously the golf course and the restaurant. Believe me, that is plenty.
Are you a scratch golfer by any?
I am such a bad golfer.
Are you really?
It's amazing.
I love hearing that.
I don't get out too often because you can't. If you're busy, it's hard to get out.
It's like the cobbler whose kids run around barefoot. You know what I mean? It's good. I like that.
Do you know how much time he spends with the Salvation Army fundraiser?
Oh, I know he does. I know he does.
I don't know how to.
Are you still working? Do you work with WCAP?
Yes, and I reached out to Warren Shaw recently. We are going to do the comedy night again. So every year, this year it's November 30th, I bring in Lenny Clark. Lenny is my host every year, and we bring in 2 other comedians, and we do a dinner. It's a raffle. It's a silent auction. It's a live auction. And we do really, really well. Last year, I think we gave him a check for $50,000 we raised in that one night.
Wow. And by the
it's been awesome.
Yeah. And by the way, Mary Ann Esposito has a new book coming out that we saw the advanced copy that is, I'm not kidding, it's going to be a Bible in my house.
Is this 16 or 17?
I don't know, but this book is going to be a Bible in my house. It's probably 300 pages, strictly vegetable dishes. Phenomenal, from main courses to appetizers. And the book is being released in November, and there's a rumor circulating that she is going to be doing a book signing and appearance at Grazie Restaurant.
Absolutely.
And we're going to promote it.
Absolutely. It's going to happen.
Well,
we're excited.
You've got a few people
maybe we can do some
too.
video there. Maybe we can do some video. David can meet us.
That would be amazing.
You asked me a little while ago about the Butcher Boy.
I did.
Okay. They had that contest. $300.
The one that I screwed up when I read it?
You killed it. I should never taken the day off. But
I blame them for that.
Tommy Amin says, what the hell is he on? He called me up right away. What is he on?
You guys should have corrected me.
Anyway, long story short, the farthest that the Butcher Boy products ended up going was to Aruba. Somebody took a picture in their condo.
No way.
Of steaks, the Butcher Boy bag. So they came in first. And if you want to see who the other winners were, all people have to do is go to info@butcherboymarket.com, and it'll tell you everything there. And also...
I bought my ribs there. I told you that, right?
Yeah.
I smoked 7 racks of ribs, and they came out...
How many hours? 6?
About 6 hours, 5.5, 6 hours. But it's fun. I love smoking. My kids bought me a really good smoker.
Wow. This guy knows more than anybody, but having good knives in either your restaurant or your home is very, very important. A lot of people don't know how to use a steel. Well, on the 28th of September, which I believe is a Wednesday, at the Butcher Boy Plaza, there's going to be a knife sharpening company there. So if you're going in to pick up some product, leave your knives off. For a couple of bucks, you get a beautiful, nice edge to it that'll last you 3-4 years.
Can you bring a sword?
You can bring anything you want.
Because I have a sword over my mantle in my house.
I know you're not going to take the blades off your lawnmower because you took that off many, many years ago. You don't even know. Wife buys him a brand new lawnmower, right? What's he do? Takes the mower deck off, drives it around. That's all he wanted to do is drive it around.
I was hauling wood.
I love it.
Hauling wood.
That was a long time ago. We got a few minutes left chatting with Mike Kuenzler from Grazie. Let's switch gears. You're a football guy?
I enjoy football, yeah.
Yeah? Who do you think of the Pats?
I thought the first game, as bad as the outcome was, I didn't think they looked that bad. I thought the defense looked good. You go back to that first drive, and really, it was a terrible call, the interference. Turned into the interception, which they drove back and scored on. It could have been 7-0 to start with a good defense. So who knows? You know what? It's a long season. What I like about Coach Belichick is he's a guy that he can take something and really, the more and more time he has,
by the fifth, sixth,
he can really turn it around. I was a wrestler at Lowell High, and so I put Belichick in as George Bossy. So George Bossy in Lowell is the godfather of wrestling. He is still the head coach right now. He's, I believe, 87 years old.
Wow. Come on.
He's in the United States Wrestling High School Hall of Fame. But it was the same thing. You never judge Georgia's teams, and I think the Patriots are a lot alike. In the first few weeks, the beginning of the season,
he calls the first 6 games preseason.
Yeah,
that's what he calls it.
He builds on them,
and he learns. Yeah, he really develops a team over the first 8 weeks of the season.
I did not like what I saw on Sunday watching that game.
Why?
Because I thought it was inconsistent. There was no momentum going.
But he just made a point, Mike. It was better than the first week.
Exactly. But I just think that Mac has got to learn when to throw the ball, when not to learn.
That's a kid.
I mean, when you're a Brady and you've been doing it for 20-some-odd years, you can pinpoint this kid, the emotions, the adrenaline.
He's better than he showed that day.
I agree.
I think is going to be very accurate.
I
think he's going to protect the ball a lot better, to be honest. There was a couple that got away from him, and that was surprising.
I think the only thing a little suspect still, the jury's still out on, is him throwing the long ball.
Right.
I think, he hasn't been very consistent since he started throwing the long ball, stretching the field. But maybe he doesn't need to do that. Because who couldn't? Do you remember Kenny Stabler?
Sure.
Kenny Stabler could not throw the long ball.
Over 35 yards.
Couldn't throw the long ball, and he was a great quarterback, right? Used to throw to Cliff Branch, doing little slant-ins and
Yep.
things like that.
Very good.
I know my football, bro.
I know my football.
But we're cutting a deal. I told you that for the.
Yeah.
We were cutting a deal. My wife and I. We are in negotiations for another book. With
What happened to the last book? This is going to be my last book. I've heard about this now for the last 4 years.
Oh, but there's a reason for that because we've switched gears a little bit. Where
you can't write about baseball players that are 19.
We're overseeing the project. We have some other writers that we're subbing.
Do a
out
nice
for.
job.
But we're doing a book for we'll find out for the Kansas City Chiefs for the Hunt family.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're kind of excited about
He's
that.
an interesting spot and soul, huh?
We're dealing with his son, Dan.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Awesome.
Nice guy.
Tommy, we got to wind it up, pal.
We do?
Next time, we got to get Cindy here.
You tell us.
And I know you guys that tell me. I know. She says she's busy. But we're going to make her. Maybe we're going to have to come up.
You stay home. Bring her.
Yeah, we'll come up with something.
Absolutely. Well, you're going to be doing a new spot.
Yes.
So that. Well, you know something.
How about you guys? I'm going to get her next week to do that new spot. You guys, all of you, put it on her. Tell her she has to come back.
Absolutely. And we're going to see you tomorrow night, which is tomorrow night because it's Tuesday, but it's really Friday that you're watching the show. So we'll see you tomorrow night.
Can't wait.
Does that make sense?
I'm so confused.
With that being said, Mike, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Love you guys.
Appreciate everything.
And to our viewers and listeners, thank you so much for your support. You know we love you guys. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And remember, if you can't make fun of yourself, please don't make fun of anyone.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Have a great week.
Audio Jungle.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.